Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Adventures of one obsessed nutrition coach on a mission to create a world where food makes you better. Today is Thursday, guys, and this Thursday we're gonna make a deep dive into the topic of healthy eating because I kind of guessed it that was the case, that people are confused about healthy eating a long time ago, mostly because I work with my clients and I talk about food a lot to people, and I see how most of the people are confused about healthy food. What is healthy food? What is healthy eating? What is a healthy diet? Like, I get all these questions all the time. And when I ask people what they think about healthy food, probably most of the people can tell me that they think eating more fruits and vegetables and fresh food in general is good, but beyond that there is very little understanding what healthy food and what healthy diet are. And especially when it comes to all these new products on the market, a lot of times they come in package with a lot of different labels, a lot of different definitions, and people are just simply confused about what healthy eating is, how they should eat healthy daily, what products are healthy and what products are not healthy. So I'm going to read to you something from the study that I read about today. It's Food Navigator USA, one of the websites that provides a lot of information about what's happening in our food system, in the food system around the world, in the world of food products. Let me read you something that I found really interesting. So Americans responding said that they feel like the best version of themselves when they eat a healthy diet. Many linked eating healthy to improved social lives, with 1 in 5 responders saying that healthy eating is key to living their best social life, according to the study. This study was done with 1,000 US consumers in 2000. I believe it was done very recently, either 2019 or 2020. Confusion around healthy eating sources. 86% of Americans said that eating fruit and vegetables is crucial to maintaining a healthy diet. They have varying views on what is considered healthy, though. When asked if different types of foods were healthy, top categories were fresh, 78%, clean label, 62%, organic, 61%, while frozen and prepackaged were listed among the lowest. So as you can see, most people think that vegetables and fruit are healthy to eat, and then also clean label, meaning there are food ingredients, there are less ingredients, there are no preservatives, additives, those things people usually mean when they say clean label. And then organic, of course, you know what organic is. And then frozen, canned, prepackaged, people consider the least healthy. Even though, guys, let me give you a few pieces of information that you might not have, that affect how you eat, how much money you spend on healthy food, and that also affects your health. So when it comes to frozen foods, let's take, for example, frozen vegetables or frozen berries. So when it comes to those frozen foods, our freezing technology right now is pretty advanced, and so for freezing those vegetables, those berries are peaked at the top of their ripeness, and they are frozen right away, and nutritional and health benefits of those foods are preserved better than compared, for example, what you would consider fresh that stays on the shelves of supermarkets and was transported there, usually out of season, usually out of the region. So what you find quote unquote fresh on the shelves of supermarket when it comes to vegetables, when it comes to a lot of fruit, when it comes to berries. A lot of times it's not actually better than frozen, it's actually worse. So when it comes to especially vegetables, berries, all this produce section, for example, frozen spinach for your smoothies, actually frozen spinach for your smoothies might be better than some fresh spinach. Again, especially the only exception to that case is when you know that that food is grown locally and it was picked maybe like a day or two ago, and it was brought to the supermarket from some local indoor or outdoor farm, then that produce is definitely better. But when it comes to out of season, out of the region foods, frozen are always better. So plus they're less expensive, guys. You can save a lot of money, and a lot of companies produce organic frozen vegetables and berries and other produce. So don't think that frozen is worse than fresh, because a lot of times it's better. Plus it's better for the environment very often, because it helps you waste less food, and also a lot of times it's more convenient. Most frozen vegetables, they are already pre-washed, pre-packaged, and they're much safer to eat also, because much less bacteria survives on frozen produce than on fresh produce. That's why, for example, when I travel, I prefer always either canned or frozen, because there is much less chance of that food to get contaminated with different bacteria than, let's say, something that stays on the shelves of supermarkets, where a lot of bacteria can live and survive, and then can end up in your food and in your body, producing all sorts of digestive disasters. So especially again when it comes to the safety of food, frozen, canned, for vegetables also, a lot of times you would see different vegetables like asparagus or artichoke hearts and beans and different other veggies. You would see them in jars and cans. So those are safer for you than the ones that you can find on the shelves of the supermarket stored otherwise. So don't think that frozen and canned is not as healthy as fresh. Again, a lot of times it's actually the opposite. And when it comes to canned food, if you are following me on Instagram, and if you don't, you should, guys, because I post a lot of educational content, things that I learned, things that I share with my clients, things that I find useful for a lot of people who are trying to eat healthier. So follow me on Instagram. You can find the link in the show notes. And so what I was talking about canned food. So canned food, I'm a huge fan of canned food, and the reason why I mentioned my Instagram, because I post a lot of that in my Instagram stories. Canned food, especially canned seafood, like canned sardines, canned salmon, canned mussels. There is a lot of variety when it comes to canned foods. Those foods, guys, are not less healthy. They are at least as healthy. And when it comes to things like sardines or canned salmon, omega-3 fatty acids are actually preserved much better than almost in any other form, especially frozen. And also, very often, they would pack salmon and sardines with skins and bones that you can actually eat and deliver like that into your body, calcium and collagen that you would not usually get any other way, because when the fish is frozen, the bones, when you cook them, you cannot really eat them. But when they're canned, you can actually eat them and get calcium and other minerals. Omega-3 fatty acids are preserved better in cans. What else? Fish and any canned foods, again, they are safer when it comes to food safety and pathogen and different bacteria, because when they can food, they put uncooked food in the can, they seal it with vacuum so there is nothing going in, and then they cook it, they process it under pressure and temperature, and all of the bacteria that was inside, it is killed and nothing ever gets in. So canned foods in jars, those foods are probably the one of the safest foods to eat, and also that's why it's a great idea to eat them when you travel and you are not sure about all the bacteria that is around, and you don't want to be spending a lot of times in the bathroom trying to figure out what wrong you ate and what's wrong with your digestion and what kind of bacteria could have infected your food or your digestive tract. So canned and frozen foods, guys, look at them. But of course, it usually, though, applies more to canned foods. Don't forget to look at the ingredients. And when it comes to, for example, seafood and other foods, make sure there are no preservatives or some natural preservatives like salt, right? Make sure that there is no excess added sugars, because they add sugar in almost everything. Make sure there are no weird words and preservatives and additives that you don't understand. There are great products on the market. So make sure that there are no unwanted ingredients there. And also make sure that when it comes to canned seafood, you buy your canned seafood either in water, in brine, or in olive oil, not in some sunflower oil, safflower oil, or some other vegetable oil, because they are proven to be pro-inflammatory, and they are also proven a lot of times to come with trans fats and other compounds that are found in different fats that are not great for your health. Though when it comes to canned seafood, guys, look at the ingredients, and also when it comes to foods in jars and frozen foods and any packaged foods, ingredients matter, guys. Clean labels matter. But yeah, when it comes to healthy food, frozen foods, canned foods, they can be a pretty awesome part of a healthy diet. But when it comes to a healthy diet, guys, and healthy foods, let's talk more about that. Like, what is healthy food? What is a healthy diet? A lot of you might be confused about that. You might feel pressured, to eat healthy, but have no idea how to eat healthy. So when it comes to the definition of healthy foods, you want to understand one thing, that unhealthy food is the food that harms your body short and long term, or short or long term. So those are foods usually with a lot of added sugars, with a lot of added refined carbohydrates, with some trans fats, with additives and preservatives that we don't know yet how they affect your long-term health. Those are foods with low quality ingredients, also low quality animal and plant foods with pesticides, herbicides, antibiotics, and hormones. Quality matters, guys. So those foods can all be called unhealthy. And of course, when you go for packaged foods, make sure that there are no ingredients that you don't understand, that cannot be written in food terms, but instead some chemical terms. So those are foods unhealthy. But for example, they are also not created equal. If added sugar is a part of an occasional dessert that you eat once in a while, that can be totally fine and totally okay part of a healthy diet. But if you add sugar to everything you eat, if you drink soda every day, if you drink coffee and other drinks with added sugars, if you eat pastries and breads and food with a lot of added sugars, that is not a healthy eating practice. Even though, again, sugar as a part of an occasional dessert might be an okay part of a healthy diet. When it comes to low quality fats, like trans fats, like vegetable oils, those things should probably be not a part of any diet, because they do not add to your eating experience, and on top of that, they make your health worse. So oils like sunflower, safflower, soybean oil, and other oils, or low quality animal fats, also some fake fats with trans fats, some oxidized fats that were not stored properly. All of that is not healthy, not good for you. And it is a little bit confusing, especially again if you are not someone who is constantly researching nutrition subjects and you haven't been working in the area for many years. But again, just make sure to avoid added sugars as much as possible unless you choose to eat occasional dessert. Refined carbohydrates and olive flours. If you want to eat grains, if you want to eat carbohydrates, then eat them in whole form, like tubers, like whole grains, not some bread or some pasta with refined flours. Make sure to avoid low quality fats and try to eat your fats from whole foods like nuts and seeds, like avocados, like olives, extra virgin olive oil, or high quality animal products like organic and pastured meats and dairy and eggs. And then when it comes to healthy diet, guys, I always like to give this example that apples, potatoes can be a pretty amazing part of a healthy diet. But if those foods are the only foods that you eat, or for example, vegan foods, we all eat vegan foods, like we all eat vegetables, we all eat fruit, nuts, and seeds, right? They can and should be a part of a healthy diet. But if you eat only very limited amount of foods, and those foods do not supply everything that your human physiology, your human body need, all the essential vitamins and minerals and fatty acids and amino acids, basically proteins and fats, then that diet is not healthy. You might eat only apples or only potatoes, and you will get sick because those foods do not provide everything that your body needs, everything that your brain needs, everything you need to be healthy, stay healthy now and in a long term. That's why when we talk about a healthy diet, we need to look at the diet overall, not just at certain foods. There are a lot of foods that can be a part of a healthy diet, but if you want to stay healthy today and many days, many weeks, many months, many years from now, then you need to make sure that your diet, no matter what foods you choose to eat, that your diet does not harm your health and your diet provides everything, all the vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids that your body needs. And only then you can say that you eat a healthy diet. And that is important. And specifically in this area, on this topic, there is a lot of confusion. Most of the people I talk to, I start working with, they have no idea whether they're getting what they need or not. But health consequences, negative health consequences will for sure follow if consistently you're not getting those essential vitamins and minerals and fats and proteins that your body needs. So this was a deeper dive into the subject, into a question of healthy foods and a healthy diet. And to sum it up and to help you to remember it better and start acting with this new knowledge. So first of all, guys, you want to understand that a healthy diet is the diet that has minimum or no foods that harm your health, like added sugars, like processed carbohydrates, like low quality and oxidized fats, like low quality animal and plant products with pesticides, herbicides, and if it's a packaged product with ingredients that are either proven to be bad for us or unsure to be bad or good. Like, you always want to stay on the safe side, and when it comes to ingredients, stay with whole food ingredients that you actually understand. So unhealthy foods, avoid those foods to have a healthy diet. But avoiding unhealthy foods is not enough. You also need to bring in healthy foods that are not just healthy by themselves somehow, but they create a well-balanced diet that supply all the vitamins, minerals, fats, and proteins that your body needs to thrive. And when you get this, a balanced diet that supplies everything without bringing all the negative effects or harming your health, that's when you have a healthy diet. And to organize, to plan this balanced, healthy diet, you need to do some planning. You can use a lot of foods to supply yourself with a healthy, balanced diet, but you need to do some planning to make sure that you are getting everything without harming your health. And that I can help you with. And also, there are books, there are resources, there is a whole internet and Google, but without proper knowledge, without proper understanding of how it all works, it's very hard to make sense of all the information and put together a sensible plan that will work for you, a plan that is also easy for you to implement. So reach out and I can help you to create that plan. So you have, at least the basics covered, the basic understanding of what is a healthy diet for you. And then from there you can experiment, mix and match and substitute one food for another. So reach out, let's work on it, and let's make your diet truly healthy and better. Because as researchers show, people, and probably you too, believe that with a healthier diet, you express your best self and you get to live your best life. And I can only confirm that. That's why I'm so passionate about the subject of healthy food and healthy eating, because it helps you to be and live as your best self. So reach out, let's get in touch, and I'll help you to create that diet that helps you to be your best self. But besides that, guys, make sure that today, again, share this podcast with someone who you believe can benefit from this knowledge, or with someone who you think might enjoy this podcast and find this subject also fascinating and always working on themselves to improve themselves. Diet, nutrition, health, it's one of the aspects of self-improvement. So share this podcast with someone who is passionate about that. I would be really, really grateful if you do this for me. So share this podcast with just one person. Thank you guys for tuning in, for listening. If you have any questions, reach out. I'm more than happy to help you and to answer all of your questions, to help you to eat better, to express the best version of yourself. And as usual, till next time, eat better daily.